San Diego. Today's Prevailing Wage Quick Tip is presented by Corey Klinke with West Coast Group Benefits. For more Prevailing Wage and Public Works information, you can visit ABC's website at www.abcsd.org and click on Public Works Resources, or call the chapter office at 858-513-4700. Now let's turn it over to Corey to talk about saving you money and lowering your bid costs.
Thank you, Scott. My name is Corey Klinke. I'm Vice President at West Coast Group Benefits. We're a firm that's been specializing in helping non-union contractors save as much as possible on their fringe benefits and therefore being competitive in federal Davis-Bacon projects as well as state prevailing wage projects. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in as I have an example set up with numbers that I use from a wage determination sheet with the Department of Industrial Relations. This is numbers used off their website as of March 2012. The trade that I'm using is an electrician inside wireman. Base wage being $36.85. The fringe amount paid as cash is $13.47. This is the health and welfare, pension, vacation, and other, as well as training added up, and it equals $13.47, bringing the total hourly wage to $50.05. The payroll tax burden percentage is set at 25%, with FICA, FUTA, SUTA rounding out the payroll taxes, which adds up to about 10%. Then we use a 15% approximate guess of workman's comp, which is pretty low. Most workman's comp rates can get up as much as 20-25%. So the hourly payroll tax burden ends up being $12.51. That's if you actually want to do the math, you can times the 50.05 by 1.25, and it'll add up to 62.56. Here in this demonstration, we're going to use the $12.51 as the actual payroll tax burden. Then you pay the cash hourly wage, and it adds up to 62.56. The next example is the savings that we show our contractors if they were to redirect the fringe benefits off of payroll and into bona fide plans. First example, like before, is the cash hourly base wage at $36.85. Then we add that same payroll tax burden percentage of 25%, which creates an hourly payroll tax burden of $9.21. The fringe amount still has to be paid, but no taxes or workman's comp expenses are incurred. This brings the total bid hourly cost up to $59.53. The bottom line is that's a savings of $3.03 per employee per hour. What that means to a contractor of, say, 15 employees working full-time, which is about 2,000 hours, 40 hours a week, equals about 30,000 hours for the year. 30,000 hours times $3.03 equals almost a little over $90,000 in annual savings for the company. That's just from redirecting the fringe dollars off of payroll and not incurring the payroll taxes and the workman's comp. How does this help in the bidding process? Well, here's an example of a project, Fairchild Hall Rehabilitation Project. Estimated amount is at $3.6 million. Bids opened Friday, January 23rd of 2009. What I'm showing you is an example of the top 5 bids for this project. Scott's Industrial Electric came in at $674,000, and Heatherville Electric came in about almost $678,000. And then Johnson, Chappelle, and Care Electric rounding out the top 5. The difference between the two top bids was a difference of only $1,300. If the second highest bid had actually implemented the bona fide or redirecting their fringe to bona fide amounts, they would actually have won that bid. So it really lowers your payroll burden to the lowest possible. Savings from a bona fide plan would have won the job, bottom line. Allocation, state prevailing wage. Federal Davis-Bacon jobs mostly just list the fringe. You have the base wage, and they allocate the or they give a total fringe amount. On California state prevailing wage jobs, you have the allocation set up where it says health and welfare $5, pension $6, vacation other, and their amounts. The biggest myth is that you have to use those amounts to, whether it says $5 or pension, that's all you could use or all you can contribute to the pension amount. Absolute false. You can actually add up the total amount, which in the previous example was $13.47, and you can send that entire amount after training into a pension plan and fully be within prevailing wage law. Bonafide plans. Bonafide plans are Department of Labor approved plans that are used to accept monies from the fringe benefits. You have the medical, dental, and life. You have either a medical program that you contribute to monthly, which there's an annualization credit you can take, or you can contribute on an hourly amount for every hour worked. Big difference with medical and any other Bonafide plan is that you have to contribute the same amount that you do for prevailing wage for private work. You cannot have the prevailing wage fringe benefit supplement any costs for private work. I'll get a little bit more detail into that. Pension 401k, this is from the first hour worked. You'll make a contribution, and this could be set up for prevailing wage only. It is 100% vested from the first hour going in, and it's because it's a 401k setup, the employee actually has the right to direct which fund he wants those monies going to. And it's 100% vested in a separate account. If that employee does leave, he takes that with him, or he even can take a cash distribution. A relatively new extra pot of money that was thrown into the fringe benefit portion was the supplemental unemployment plan. This works similar to a pension, is that you can only accept prevailing wage monies. Nothing has to be contributed on the private side, but it sets up a separate account that allows an employee to draw from anytime he doesn't work enough hours in any given month, especially in times when he's laid off. It's a supplement to unemployment, so you can collect unemployment as well as draw from this account. Training has to be done on a state level, California state level. There has to be a contribution for every prevailing wage hour, go to an approved apprenticeship program, and hopefully the ABC. At this time, I'd like to open up for questions.
We do have a couple questions coming in. First one is, please clarify what a Bonafide plan means.
A Bonafide plan is Department of Labor approved. Any fully insured medical product is considered a Bonafide plan, so if you're contributing monthly to your employee's medical insurance, there is a credit you can take, and I would recommend either calling myself or Scott and getting that formula as it pertains to your company. Department of Labor also has to approve any pension plan or supplemental unemployment plan for those monies to be received.
On state projects, do I have to allocate the fringe benefit based on the amount shown on the wage determination?
Well, I'm pulling up the actual wage determination sheet that I used the example on the previous PowerPoint. As you can see, I used the inside wireman technician, and this is pulled today as of March 8th, 2012. And you can see the health and welfare is $663, pension $435, training, and other. Like I said before, you can take all these amounts, including health and welfare, pension, not training, and other, and you can throw it either into the supplemental employment plan and be in full compliance, or the pension plan and be in full compliance. As long as it's adding up to the total wage of the $50.05, you're going to show the $36.85 on your certified payroll, and then whatever amounts you want to allocate, you will show on your fringe benefit statement, which will accompany the certified payroll reports.
Great. Another question here. If I have a current medical plan, is there a credit I can take?
Yes. If you're contributing monthly to a medical plan for your employees, there's a formula that you can use that utilizes whatever you pay towards your employee's premium, whether that be the full employee cost or even the dependent costs. there's an hourly amount or an hourly credit that you can take. And once again, I would either call myself or Scott to help you with that formula.
Okay, we have time for a few more here. Can I contribute to a medical plan for prevailing wage projects only?
That's the biggest mistake a contractor can make, is having the prevailing wage benefits subsidize anything that's to do with private work. So if you do any private work, you cannot have a medical or the medical contribution going in only for prevailing wage. You must submit it either the same or identical, or you do it on a monthly basis. But you cannot have the medical or the medical portion or medical insurance subsidized by prevailing wage benefits.
Last question we have is, who determines the amounts contributed to pension, supplemental plan, etc.?
As long as you, as an employer, are directing it to a bona fide plan on behalf of your employee, you can pick any allocation you feel comfortable with. If you have a health plan, you can take the credit, and then when you pay training, you have the balance basically to play with. You can cut it in half and send it half to the supplemental, half to the pension, even put a little bit on the paycheck. It's completely up to you. As long as whatever's on the certified added in with whatever you put on the fringe benefit statement adds up to the total wage of the $50.05 on this example.
Well, thanks again, Corey, for participating in this, and thanks everyone else for participating in ABC's Quick Tip on Prevailing Wage. For more information, again, you can visit our website at www.abcsb.org or call the chapter office at 858-513-4700.